Today, we're gonna visit a former military base that is still rumored to be protected by law. This means that it's prohibited for me to film there, and that's why Hoisak couldn't make it to this episode of Hood History number 4. So instead of Hoisak, I will be your guide today. I can't really expose who I am, but I'm definitely not Hoisak. So let's waste no time and let's go film something prohibited. The military base we're gonna visit is so unique in so many ways. First of all, it's created by a guy called Valdemar. And this guy was the main chief of this military facility. Oh, is that cops? Yep. They're lasering somewhere. Yeah, and there's the car going. Huh. I'm glad I'm doing Hood history. Always keeping the speed limits. Did I almost die? So 20 years after this training facility closed, someone called Valdemar. And shockingly, CIA called him. Because they were so impressed about the things he did in this military training facility we're going to right now. He caught the eye of CIA just because of this facility. So I'm really stretching this out, but it's pretty cool. So the reason CIA called him is because he was a pioneer in his field. What he did is he had trained sea mammals 20 years before CIA and the US even considered using animals in warfare. So he was insanely ahead of his time, and they wanted to hire him to train dolphins. But unfortunately, he turned down the job. Why? I have no clue. I guess he was tired of it. So how come he started training sea animals? To explain this, we'll have to rewind about 20 years. In the beginning of the 1940s, Valdemar got the assignment by the Swedish military to create a training facility in the outskirts of Stockholm. And this was definitely a task for Valdemar, since he had been super interested in training animals for the military. So in 1941, he got a ton of money from the Swedish military to create this facility with room for 50 seals. And the reason we wanted to use seals is because they are highly intelligent. They both have great vision and can dive very deep. So basically Valdemar was the first in the world to even think the thought of using animals in warfare. And the fact that Sweden started to train animals and so on was of course something top secret. And that's why they had to hide this training facility far outside of Stockholm. And apparently it was supposed to be disguised as a harbor and a pier. So they basically made it so no one can suspect what it is. Which makes me very curious of how it looks now and what's left. And also why it's still protected by law. I believe there's no operation going on there today. Except if I go swimming. So Valdemar used this training facility to train 50 seals for 2 years. They trained the seals in the same way that you train dogs, basically. And the mission in this case was to train the seals to be able to detect mines and to mark them. It picks up so nice with the new suspension settings. But after 2 years of training, the military chief back then, he said, nah, this ain't working, I'm not satisfied, let's close down this facility. And this made me think, but if they weren't satisfied with the results, why did CIA contact him 20 years later? So basically the seals, they did perfect, but the equipment they used back then was not good enough for military purposes. So he trained the seals to go down to the bottom to mark a fake mine, in this case, with some kind of strobe light that they are supposed to see from the surface and tell, yeah, that's where the mine is. And they did that perfect, but the light they used started to malfunction all the time, so that's why the Swedish military chief back then wasn't satisfied with the results at all. But that was not because of the seals. So they wanted to shut this place down, but then Valdemar said, okay, I can do this for 2 more years without any pay. You don't have to compensate me a dime for this. That's pretty insane. He really believed in this. And I admire that. That's so cool. So he did that for 2 years and then just shut it down. And that's why it kind of upsets me. Here comes the Swedish military. What a coincidence. He waved back to me. I'm happy. I'm like a child. And that's why I'm kind of upset that he didn't take the job offering from CIA. But I mean, I guess he was tired of it. And CIA, they offered him a job offering to train dolphins. And I suppose it's totally different. I mean, it's a different animal. So I guess he was like, ah. So here we have the sign. Gålö. That's where we're heading. So what happened with the CIA project once he turned down the job offering? Well, in 1964, CIA actually found another scientist called James that they flew out to Key West to open a training facility there as well. 20 years after Valdemar did it. And in the US training facility, they actually tested 19 different species of animals to see which one of these can be used for military purposes. They even tested some birds. That's so weird. But I mean, it worked in Harry Potter, so why not? But they came to the conclusion that sea animals and dolphins were the best. So dolphins have a great sonar system, which means that they can send out beams and they bounce back and so on, which means that they can detect mines very well. Sea lions, on the other hand, they have super good vision, which means they can spot stuff like divers, swimmers, and so on. Did I almost die? Oh my god! Oh, that's not good. Okay, I don't know what happened. I was thinking of sea lions. So around 1965 they started training sea lions and dolphins over at Key West. And as we speak, they still have 70 dolphins employed in the US military. I love that they are employed, it's so cute. And that's only dolphins. They also have about 30 sea lions employed. And they have also said to the public that it's impossible to train a dolphin or a sea lion to kill. So that means they don't have the license to krill. I'm so funny. I'm so excited to see this training facility. God damn. And these are some nice roads. So today the US military used the animals for 3 different things. Finding mines, finding swimmers, and also locating objects. She waved at me, so nice. She called someone and said, "There's someone coming to the training facility. Get the seals out of there, now!" And the funny thing is, I started thinking about this animal warfare thing first when I saw the video of the beluga whale Vladimir that popped up somewhere in Norway. And that whale actually had like a bracelet that said property to St. Petersburg. So they are definitely in use today, and the US military is a sign of that. Here we can see Seal Station. So as you can see, it's prohibited to film. So that's why Hoysa couldn't be with us today. He went to do something else and sent me out on this mission. I'm not even from here, I'm from Texas, as you can tell from my English. So I'm really glad I could come from Texas today to visit this place. I'm glad my wife and kids in Texas could let me come to Sweden to visit the Seal Station, the top secret Seal Station. So some French woman came to me with this card and was like, "Are you the one who's visiting tonight?" And I was like, no. I was like, "I'm here to see the seals." She's like, "There's no seals left here." And I was like, "You're lying." No, I did not say that. But yeah. Oh, so let's go see the seal station. So I was thinking about taking the bike though up here, but she came down here. I think she's working here, so I think there's always someone here. So the operation they had here is apparently called Palmen, which basically means palm tree. And there was a guard here who let people in and out 24/7. I should have told the French woman that if you see anyone with a helmet walking around, that's me.
So I began working my way down to the military pool. And when I came close, I noticed that the French woman I spoke to earlier, she spotted me. She then decided to walk down to the pool and sit just next to it so she could watch me the whole time. So this is the pool where the seals were kept. It's much smaller than I expected, but I guess being a seal in war times was not something glorious. I looked some more until I felt a bit uncomfortable with me being observed, so I left the area.
That was a lot scarier than I thought from the beginning. I basically got followed the whole way, and it's true that you're not allowed to take any pictures or videos. I just happened to be from Texas. I got my camera, my helmet. I forgot it was recording. So first question I have, how did he fit 50 seals in that place? You guys saw it, it's tiny. 50 seals? Oh my lord, that's horrible. And were they like sleeping there, or did they just come to get food? I guess they just came to get food. I don't even know how seals sleep, to be honest. Kind of cool that Swedes were the first one to invent killer seals. So that's all for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching Hood History episode 4.
I remember all the flashing lights, you outside, the fancy cars that